we're in a world full of what's up next, what's next on my schedule, what do I have next to do, what do I have to get done in order to find some sort of relief. My name is Austin. You might see me online as Barefoot Will. What I do is take guys into the woods. We disconnect and unplug for 5 days, 4 nights on a camping retreat. Just provide an opportunity, provide a lot of space for these guys to basically be present, be where their feet are. Whatever burdens that you might be carrying, they kind of seem to shed the more time that you spend in the woods.
My name is Jack White. I am one of the founders of Default Kings, currently located out of Orlando, Florida. And now we're at a retreat for Ozarks. I had some pushback initially, because I thought it sounded crazy. 5 days in the woods, can't do any work. So I was definitely hesitant at first, but I came around to the idea, committed to it, and I think it's been an amazing decision, really why I'm here.
I am Joe Yelheim. I'm the co-owner of Default Kings. We are a men's online fitness coaching company. We help guys permanently lose the weight. I don't think I've ever really taken this much extent of time to detach. Probably not since I was 12 or 13, going on a fishing trip with my dad and my grandpa. That was probably the last time I slowed down, right? Austin's whole thing's live slow. I said the last time I did that was a decade ago. So this is definitely the first time since starting a business. It's definitely the first time since getting to college or everything that I've actually sat down, taken time away from the noise.
I'm Gabe Pluguez, and I am the founder and co-owner of Default Kings. I think one of the biggest things I was thinking business-wise was literally the week before leaving, coming off of our first in-person retreat, doing some new work. We had like a lot of momentum, not once since day one. Has all 3 of the owners been completely gone for the operations.
Definitely going to showcase them a little bit more of the natural state. I grew up here in Arkansas, and it's one of the most underrated states in my opinion. Later today, we're going to head up to Pedagine. We're going to hike down to the falls. We've had plenty of rain, so the falls will be nice and flowing and gushing. We're going to do a little bit of hiking around here. Going to explore a few small waterfalls that are around the campground. There's some caves to explore as well. And then I rented out this campground, and they run a float service. So tomorrow, midday, I'm going to take these guys on a 4 to 6 mile float up the creek, and we're going to float down here to camp. And they have no clue about either one of those.
Yeah. I think what struck me the most about what Austin said leading into this trip was this idea of anticipation. That was like a super light bulb moment for me last night. Now it's all I've been thinking about is how we literally just go through life anticipating everything. Wake up, you check your calendar, what's next? Once that event's done, what's next? You literally spend your entire day just anticipating the next thing that's going to happen until the last meeting's done and you have nothing on your calendar. And then you just hang out and relax. So it's interesting because obviously here, there's nothing on the calendar all day. There is no calendar. There's nothing to anticipate. That's definitely been fresh in my mind since you brought her up. Because I realize now that it's all I do. It's all I ever because you sit there and anticipate the next thing, the next thing, the next thing.
The big thing that Austin talked about when we kind of first sat down was like try not to anticipate. So I've been keeping that as like a big idea in my head. Really stuck out to me. So I've been very much trying to live in each and every moment. Been doing pretty good at that. Obviously, like some thoughts creep in. I try not to judge myself too much, just kind of let them in. If I have an idea, write it down in my journal real quick, but go back to living in the moment, living in the present, and it's been going really well.
Right after it rained yesterday, the sky and the colors of the trees just seemed to really take on a new color. Cracked a couple beers, and everybody's just having such a great time being in the moment. Lots of laughter. Definitely a highlight.
It's been once in a lifetime experience. And the biggest thing has been, I think I told you about this on day one, is trying not to anticipate those. So like, 'cause I feel like that's what I do 24/7, 365. just like anticipate what's next, what's on the schedule, what am I doing tomorrow, what's coming up next week. So, been able to live in the moment a lot more. Time moves a little bit more slower. It's kind of nice enjoying every moment a little bit more, having more gratitude for every moment. Out here it's just like beautiful. Like everything just staring at this little creek or river every morning, or just walking around this woods, looking at all the different trees. Last night the stars were freaking beautiful.
Like there are so many moments where it was like just after lunch and there was nothing planned, nothing on the itinerary. So what do you naturally do, like to stimulate your mind? You sit down with your best friends and you have a conversation that you need to have.
Couldn't have asked for a better week. Really went flawlessly. Such an epic time. Just an overall really great week. It went extravagantly well.
I think going forward, I'm going to be way less of like slave to my schedule, right? Or other people's like need for my attention. I think that if I can block off certain times throughout the day to live slow, so to speak, or just do whatever needs to be done in an intentional, non-distracted way, I'm actually going to be able to show up better for my people when they need me. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm going to be blocking off my entire mornings so that I'm not taking any meetings whatsoever. So I'll have the entire morning blocked off, then I'll hit a workout around midday, and then once that's done, I'm yours, so to speak, for whoever needs to get that time.
I don't think I expected there to be such a direct impact on day-to-day business planning and how we go about it. But I think the biggest thing we're all going to pull away from this is that adjustment to the calendars and being more restrictive of our time and making sure that we audit it carefully to nurture creativity, to nurture innovation. Because ultimately, the only way you grow the business, you have to be creative, you have to innovate. And anytime you put those restraints on yourself, like more blocks on a calendar, you take away from that creativity and that innovation. I think it was the lack of external inputs. You take away a phone, take away other people that are talking to you, and not to say that people take energy, but no matter how you square it, people do take your energy in some capacity. Not that it's always negative, but by eliminating all that stuff, it actually allows you to have truly original thoughts and actually truly understand what's going on in between your ears, and it's not influenced by some external source. So I think that's the biggest thing.
Feels like it went by pretty quick, I think. We did a lot. And even though we have like a lot of downtime, it's never bored. The work is always there. You're honestly not going to miss much. A few days, it really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. And then the other thing is perspective. Perspective, like usually you're tied down to the day-to-day. You're so much like in the trenches. You can't see things the same way as if you remove yourself. And you remove yourself, you get a unique perspective. Like think of it for on top of the skyscraper versus on floor level. Completely different views. So when you detach, you completely move into the wilderness for a few days, for example, you get that new perspective. You can see things a little bit differently. So that's how you generate a lot of new ideas or different ways of thinking.
Oh man, it's been great. Eye-opening, just completely eye-opening. Still right now, I'm just amazed at what it feels like to have that amount of downtime. It's something that you rarely get the opportunity for at any point in your life. It's something that I'm going to repeat at least once a year after this. I don't have one specific moment, but my favorite moments of the trip were the conversations. That's, if I was anticipating anything, it was, can't wait to sit around the campfire and just tell stories and get to know everybody at a level that we told stories that we haven't told 99.9% of the people in our life on this camping trip. So the conversations were by far the highlight of the trip for me.
They take away that they need to be still. They need to live slow in their day-to-day lives, to set time apart, to literally just be where your feet are planted. Give God the floor to be able to speak into their lives, to eliminate quite a bit of the noise that may be kind of shaking them down.